Okay, for starters, this is obviously not all the stuff in my truck. I've got a lot of stuff in there, but I drive a Ford F-150, so there's not a lot of room. Everything needs to fit behind the seat. So this is what I've got back there. Um, this belt here is really the emergency kit. The rest of the stuff I do use quite often. Over here I've got my tarp and my wool blanket. I use that for my 3-day pack and when I go camping. And over here I have my Leatherman Wave multi-tool, flashlight, and pen. I use this a lot. I keep this in my glove box, and I've actually got two of these Leatherman Waves. They're one of my favorites. And I keep one in my glove box, like I said, and then I keep the other one in a bag that I take with me to work every day. But I have never been without a Leatherman. I use them all my life, and I really like the tool. And a couple times when it has broken, I've sent it back to the company, and they send me, either a brand new one or they've replaced the broken part and sharpened all the blades. So I can't really even tell if it's brand new or not, but it certainly seems like it. So, like I said, I've got the blanket and the tarp. This is an 8x10. This blanket is, I believe, let's see, 7 by about 5, so it's pretty big and really warm. This is an old military belt. I have a lot of military stuff. A lot of it was passed down to me from my grandfather. So in some of these videos, you'll see a lot of that stuff, and it was all free. I do everything on a budget. So as you can see, this blanket was free, handed down to me. This tarp was, I think, $6, but it's pretty nice. It's got reinforced corners and things like that. So the canteen, again, I think I bought the cup because it's got, you have all seen them. It's got the metal cup in here. I've got some water pills, water tablets there, and then the canteen. If we work our way around the belt, I've got this little sack here. Actually, first let's go to here. This is a tool that, somebody gave me as like a stocking stuffer, but I really like it because it's got a little wrench on it, which is nice when you're talking about using machinery. Being able to tighten and loosen the nuts is pretty handy. It's got a saw and a blade on it. So some of that stuff is redundant, but being redundant is kind of nice, especially in those kind of situations. And I've got the little mag light in here, but then I've also got this little LED. This was free, somebody gave it to me. It's got the white, but then it's also got the red, which I think is kind of cool. So if you want to keep the light low but still be able to see. So in here, I've got my drum liner. And so between these three things, what I normally do is I'll put the drum liner on the ground, blanket, and then this on top of me. Sometimes I'll make it like an L so that I'm sleeping on the bottom part, and it wraps back and then up and then catches the heat from the fire. So sometimes I use the drum liner, sometimes I just use this. It depends on the mood and what's going on. So I've got the drum liner. One thing on drum liners, they're really hard to find in 55-gallon and 3 mil, at least for me. I've looked several hardware stores. I've only found them in one spot, and it's easy to find 55-gallon. It's easy to find 3 mil, but they're usually 42-gallon 3 mil. So, and it really is, I think, a big difference because that 55-gallon is a really good size. It can cover your entire body, and you can unfold it and use that sucker as a tarp. And then the 3 mil, there's really no question. If you fill the 3 mil and you fill the 1 or 2 mil, I don't trust it. So I like having the 55-gallon 3 mil, but they are hard to find. So what we've got in here, I've got a little candle. Again, this is just like extra stuff that I had laying around. Right, I've got some Velcro straps, which are pretty handy for lots of different things. This is, you've probably seen this too, this little goofy survival little tool thing, and I've got a razor blade in there as well. I mean, it's cool. It's got, a bottle opener and a little bitty saw and all that, but whatever. And here I've got some thread. Some of these pieces came from like a little kit, a little, survival kit, which is why I put it in here. It's not really my good stuff. It's got threads, it's got a whistle. I wish I could find these whistles because they're cool and they gotta be cheap. They're probably like 60 cents a piece. Little compass. I've got tea. I did sort of like do my first aid the way I like it, which is mainly, some pills and some gauze. I don't really need a whole lot of Band-Aids. No big deal. If you get a little cut, that's not what I'm worried about. So in here, I've got tin foil. I love tin foil. I always keep it around. It's super lightweight. You can wrap stuff in it. You can use it to hold things, and you can cook anything in it. Right? You just wrap it in tin foil, throw it in the fire, and then it cooks itself, which is really handy. So in here, which is kind of like a survival kit all into itself. Sorry. I've got a really cheap Swiss Army knife. Again, just so I have a blade in this thing, another blade. I have, I think this is probably 50 feet of paracord and lighter. Right there, you gotta have a lighter. I had flint and steel somewhere in here. I'm gonna have to find it. This is my fishing kit. I've got some cloth tape. I've got electrical tape. I've got some snare wire. This is 25 feet of snare wire. And then inside the fishing kit, your usual stuff. But I've got some nails, and I keep these 2-inch brads in there because you could bend them into hooks. You can use them, several of them, as a frog gig on the end of a stick. This is a little piece of balsa wood, or actually basswood, that I cut and just wrapped 25 feet of string on there. So there's hooks and sinkers and all your usual stuff in there. But fishing kits are super important to me because I do a lot of fishing, and if there's water, I can get fish out of it as long as I've got a hook and some line. So that's really about it. Like I said, super simple, super cheap. There's nothing fancy here. If you took everything I bought, it costs nothing. Nothing. The only thing that is expensive is the Leatherman. It was probably 40 bucks. I told you I had 2 of them. I bought one, and then a student of mine bought me another one, which I think is awesome. I feel like having 2 Leathermans is just super luxurious. But anyway, that's my emergency truck kit. Leave responses, or let me know what you think. What's really missing, what's not. Like I said, this is just strictly for emergency. Truck breaks down after I've gone to a hunt. I got to get, somewhere, and it's got to last me a couple days. So, I've got water. I'm not worried about food. Food's not going to be a big deal in a couple of days, especially where I'm going. And at some point, I'm going to talk about kit mentality and what I think my kits do for me. Whether it's an emergency or a 3-day and all that stuff. I talk a little bit about it with each of my kits, but that's it. And I'm probably going to do my 3-day next, or talk about some books. But thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Eric signing off.